As you know, I am an expert in people who are royally up. Okay? Okay? I know it's a kid's show. Just to remind you, most of my life, most of my adult life, I was either a prosecutor, still a lawyer, defense, politics, did all kinds of campaigns, have been in media, professional and otherwise, for 30, professional media, 38 years. I've met every lunatic you can imagine in TV and radio, from coked out overnight music people to stupid, program directors to idiots to salesmen but just lunatics and people in show business, and you name it. I've been immersed in this. I know what I'm talking about. And I've learned a lot. And just through, just experience. And there are people who come across, and you'll meet them, they're, oh, look, my imitation of Erica Kirk. Anyway, whenever she looks up. Anyway, you'll meet these people, and on paper, oh my God, you have no idea. You've met these people. Well, he's an Ivy League. Oh, that's great. Who was Harvard? Who was what? And that's wonderful. And by the way, many of them are terrific. There's no doubt about that. But every now and then somebody will say, technically speaking, on paper, this guy, and then you meet the person. Ben Shapiro is that person. Ben Shapiro. Who picked Ben Shapiro to speak on behalf of anyone? If he does, Ben Shapiro, when there are people out there in the world who don't know anything about anybody. And I want to say to people that Ben Shapiro, I would think, does not speak on behalf of anybody, foreign countries, religions, ethnicities, parts of the country. I would disassociate myself from him. I would have, how sometimes you hear the following opinion does not in any way reflect the opinion of management, or the disclaimer. I would have a disclaimer all the time and say, don't look at him. He doesn't represent whatever he wants. Because everybody's always thinking that he's on the payroll, he's being paid. Well, whoever is paying him, if he's being paid as a spokesperson to lure people into whatever the particular orbit he wants to pull them in, they're wasting their money. I would have disclaimers. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I have a friend of mine, great friend, gay. And whenever we see somebody who's covered in tats and blue hair and trans crypto gender, I say, one of yours, huh? And he goes, no, that's not me, no. A disclaimer, we do not in any way. You've seen this before. Does Joy Reid represent liberal ideology? No. And there's a lot of folks on the conservative side. I don't want to make that. I'm always saying no. Though I'm not a conservative. We'll get to that later on. So first things first. Whoever Ben Shapiro claims to represent, speak for, is it conservative America? Is it Republicans? Is it whatever? I would immediately have disclaimers, because from the moment he opens his mouth, and maybe he's always been like that, but this is before Kansas. This is BC. This is before Kansas. He was kind of like, well, he was obnoxious, but harmless. It was like, okay. No hits, no runs, no errors. All of a sudden, we're realizing this guy, he's hitting into the really seriously, dangerously paranoid levels. Like, wow, this is not good. And this is something which I think we need to speak of. Candace Owens talks about he and Laura Loomer are very similar in that they're basically taking on the stalker mentality. The stalker mentality is the targeted predator move. This is a different category. I don't think he's schizophrenic or anything like that. I don't think he's psychotic. I don't think he's hearing voices. I don't think he's that. But you do not have to be schizophrenic to be a stalker versus a stalker. This is a different story completely. He and Loomer have this focused. Loomer's different because she's doing it just on her own. She's even more dangerous because she's not really affiliated with anyone. Ben's got to maintain Daily Wire, all of his other affiliations and associations. So he's fighting to keep his name, to keep on board. And somebody somewhere, I will bet you anything, somebody is telling him, listen, Benny, we're going to have to cut bait with you. Your numbers are dropping. You're becoming a pariah. No. This time I'm going to do it. Leave her alone. Leave Candace alone. Just move on. I can't. Ben, we know she's exposing everything you're doing. People are feeling sorry for her. This is not good when our target inspires sympathy. You're now going after this brave mother. You want to what? Get her husband deported? For what? You want to break up a family? Candace said it best. These little accusations aren't just, trivializations. These are accusations that could get her husband deported, her family separated. It's one thing you say whatever you want about me, go ahead, but you're going after my husband and my family? And Candace is the last person I would ever want to mess with. I had a friend of mine years ago in the political, when I worked for a senator, and he would say, don't fuck with a falcon unless you can fly. And Benny, you better sprout some wings, because you don't know, you don't know what you're doing. And I also hope you are cleaner than a houndstooth, because I promise you, just like it's happening with you, you and Laura are getting information that is beyond brothers-in-law. You're getting it from the inside. There's no way that somebody sitting on a laptop can come up with half of the stuff you're coming up with. Well, let me tell you something. In the intel business, we have this group of people called the White Hats. And the White Hats are those folks who are in the intel community who don't really like what's going on. And what they're doing is they're like playing a double agent. They're ostensibly on board with the Black Hats, but they're not. They're White Hats, meaning there's a lot of people who say, listen, not for nothing, Candace, but check this out. You didn't get this from me. You didn't hear this from me. Already last night, this one particular piece she's doing, she's unveiling and releasing information about God knows what. And you see, this goes back. And I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, but it's like that Jack Reacher, the first Jack Reacher episode with Tom Cruise. Before he is about to cripple this guy who wants to fight him, who thinks he can take Tom Cruise. He says, now remember, before they start this, before he crippled him, he says, remember, you wanted this. And then he, of course, cripples him. Well, that's what they're doing with her. Now, next point. Here is my solution. If I'm brought in, which I would never take the job, but if they brought me as crisis counselor or crisis manager or whatever you want to call it, I would meet with Ben and TPUSA and all these other these nudniks, and I'm going to say, do me a favor. I don't want you to mention the name Candace Owens, her husband, her children, anything. Okay? I don't want you to mention her name. I don't want you to mention her name unless you get it okayed with me, and I'm not going to okay it. Forget her. Just forget her. I want you to go onto campuses. I want you to hand out visors and frisbees, and I want you to get back to doing what you're doing. And Ben, whatever the hell you're supposed to be doing, whoever is promoting you, paying you, whatever your spokespeople are, stick to that. Leave her out of it. You are failing miserably. Stop with this demon, demonic. Stop with this. First of all, this is a disservice to demonology and demons and Satan. Satan's going, wait a minute, hold it. Candace is demonic? How dare you? I'll show you demonic. Get the words right. People get into these phrases. Just like all of a sudden, I know you know this. No worries. What? I said, thank you. No worries. No worries. Why are you saying no worries? Because I'm a lemming. Why is everything amazing? Why is everything amazing? Why is this amazing? Before it was hilarious. Just like people get into phrases and they say things all the time, they get into these other things. Demonic. It's demonic. It's evil. She's the consummate. Candace, please. Please. Call her misinformed. Give her a bless her heart. That's the worst. You know that from the South, right? It's a great neutralizer. When they say, you know, I'll tell you what, that guy Ben Shapiro, I don't know if he knows what the hell he's talking about. I mean, but bless his heart. And that's the worst. That means you're like retarded. Bless his heart. And when they take things like, he gave you the shirt off his back. Oh, no, not the shirt off the back line. What about this? Street smarts. No, don't give me street smart. No. What does that mean? He's retarded. What are you talking? No. Give her a bless her heart. Whatever. And move on. Ignore her. Ignore her. You're calling attention to your... I don't know of anybody in the business of restaurant advertising, whether it's pizza or hamburgers, who say, we're better than Angelo's Pizza. Why are you mentioning Angelo's Pizza? Well, because they didn't know about Angelo's Pizza. You're Sal's Pizza. What are you talking about Angelo's Pizza for? Why? What's the matter with you? Because you're fixated on Angelo's Pizza. You're fixated. And you just introduce these people. So all of a sudden people are saying, wait a minute. And there's another thing too. You got to ask yourself. And I recognize this. Candace comes across as buoyant, happy. She's got a legitimate giggle. Not that weird, artificial, strange Laura Loomer giggle. Have you heard that one? Where she's told every 3.5 seconds, do you like that? Why? Because that you're trying to impart the veneer of humanity, and that kind of gives the impression that maybe you're somehow tethered to something that's human. It's fake. I swear to God, it's like she's trying to learn her lie, her act. Well, Candace, she'll laugh and she'll giggle. She's serious. She's smart as a whip. And there's something. Look, I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? If I'm doing something and I'm a spokesperson or I'm speaking, and somebody would say to me, we want to talk to you about your voice. Now, my voice, Joe Pesci, heard that. My favorite is Curly Howard on Benzedrine, the best ever. But you know what's funny about my voice? In radio, of all things, when you hear it, or maybe not now, but then, you knew it. You go, oh, that's that guy. Because what's he doing? It kind of worked for me. But if somebody ever told me, listen, and I'm sure, maybe people have thought it, but I have not heard this. And I haven't been around for a while, so maybe there's some truth to this. But if somebody told me, you don't understand. People hate you. You talk too fast. You're obnoxious. The sound, you're grating, or it's just, we've done all kinds of, basically focus groups, and they can't stand you. They can't stand you. Can you warm it up? Can you do something? And I know they've told them this. I know it. People will say, who's that? There's no warmth. And then, here's the best part. This is a schmuck, all right? This is just somebody. First, just like when Trump said that Tucker and Candace were submental or low IQ. Come on. Of all the things, but low IQ, please. not that. But Ben was trying to say that she mispronounced a word. Oh my God, or words, whatever. That's it. That's priggish. And you know what it is too? It's bitchy, and it's effeminate, and it's not masculine. I'm sorry. Tough guys don't do that. You're not gonna sit there and you're gonna tell a woman that because she's making fun. I mean, this is the best you can come up with. That she mispronounced a word, and then the ultimate. I'm gonna tell you this. And either you get what I'm saying or you don't. Either you understand it or you don't. But I'm gonna tell you this. They went after Theo Vaughn. Theo Vaughn is the Christ child. He's innocent. He's a hip. He's like a hip Gomer Pyle. Remember Gomer Pyle? Everybody loved him. I'm not saying that negatively, but he was like sweet and he kind of southern, and we loved him. He's harmless. People loved him. Women love him. Did you see the interview of Theo with a little girl who was blind? He's talking to kids, women. He's got a hell of an act. You know, this guy's taking care of business. You know what I mean? He's doing a high hard one. I mean, I'm just guessing. But he comes across as just genuinely nice. And Ben Shapiro goes after him and calls him, I forget what I don't even know. Theo Vaughn? Now you're getting to be real bitchy. And I'm sorry, ladies, forgive me, but I think you know what I mean. Real bitchy, real catty. Okay? This is like mean girlish. Very estrogen-esque. You know what I mean? Ben, this is not good. Ben, man's got to know his limitations. I think Dirty Harry taught us that. You got to know this. Ben, you don't do that. The best you can do is mispronounce words and Theo Vaughn? Oh my God, you've lost it. You are so desperate. You are clawing at something. This is personal. You've lost that loving feeling. Oh, you've lost any connection with reality. Seriously, you're into it. This is a stalker. This fixated predation. This something's wrong. This is restraining order time. I mean, this is not right. There's something wrong about this. I think you realize it's over. They've just had it. They've just had it. Sometimes when people have been in a bad relationship or a bad whatever it is, and they realize, I just had enough of this. And people just walk out the door. And there's no goodbyes, no long goodbyes, like a girl named Betty, There's no, it's just, I'm leaving. I've had enough of this. It's over with. What are you doing? Daily Wire is, by the way, their press release was so good. It actually sounded almost good. I mean, so well written. Oh, I've read the best memos. Oh, the best. When you've been in media, corporate memos, they're fantastic. Fantastic. They could tell you you've got a terminal disease and you got a week to live, and you'll feel great. Well, the good news. I mean, they think they're so smart, but it's all bullshit, which is Ben's middle name. So this is where we are right now. I mean, and I'm sitting back, and a lot of us are saying, okay, and Candace is saying, okay, you can stop this anytime you want. I don't think she's going to stop it. I think she's in it to win it. The reason why I would really argue against arguing with Candace is not because of her innate intelligence, which is immane and huge and colossal and Brobdingnagian and Herculean. It's not her ability to remember every fact and name and date and oh my God, she's okay. That's not it. That's not the problem. The problem is that she's right. See, when you're right, you don't have to know anything. What she's saying is right. She wanted to find out, what about my friend? And they came after her. It didn't make any sense. Erica Kirk moves out there, and Candace says, whoa, 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 wait a minute, hold it. I mean you no harm. What is this about? What's this? It was the Erica, for sure. Ben, absolutely. And Laura Loomis, I don't even know where she is. Not really. She's on another frequency. She's not AM, she's not FM, she's like microwave or something, but she's out there. But what's interesting about, they didn't understand what this was. They didn't understand the solemnity. They had no idea what Charlie meant. And this Erica finally said, now's my chance. Because as I told you, she's vacuous, vacant, void, vapid. She's an empty vessel that is filled with whatever the role is she's performing. Now she's the evangelical corporate CEO, mom, lowercase m, kind of a starlet wannabe sort of, because today, remember, they don't really they don't differentiate between, are you a star because of your performance or because of your looks, your talent. She just wants to be a star. All of that. So she has no idea. She has no idea. And they keep putting her out there. That's another one. TPUSA, what are you doing? Have her take 6 months off, 6 weeks, 6 years, and just sit out and go back and try to rekindle, try to reconnect with your donor class, which they're done. They're finished with you. You are a loser. You are a boozing ladle, as we say. They are just gone. They don't get it. They don't see it. They don't understand it. They don't recognize it. They don't understand that they are not an anachronism. They are inappropriate. And their folks, they have lived so long in this inertial bubble. Let me tell you something. It is wild. It is wild. And now everybody's starting to see what's going on here. And Ben Shapiro is making everybody, in 1970, whatever it was, Joe Colombo decided that he was going to, this is the Colombo crime family, Joe Colombo decided he was going to call attention to the fact that the Italian demographic, the Italian ethnicity, has been for far too long associated with the mob, with the mafia. One of the most stupid things anybody's ever done. Absolutely, positively, just until Joey Gallo and others took care of that. And people said at the time, what are you doing? This is a secret organization. Why? And then whenever they would have, they eventually got him at Columbus Circle, not too far from here. But when they gunned him down, he died years later. But when they gunned him down, at every event was a veritable who's who of made guys walking around. And the FBI said, take pictures of this. This is incredible. They're all here. It's just like when they used to go to the Ravenite and meet with John Gotti. They didn't know, the mob didn't know who was actually all the members of, the Gambino crime family, the alleged Gambino. And sure enough, they would see pictures of them lining up, kissing rings and kissing. Like, this is amazing. Carlo Gambino would have said, what are you doing? Stop this. We don't meet in public. We don't shit. Get out of here. Disperse. But that's what this is. Ben Shapiro he's turned the lights on. Everybody says, wait a minute, what is this? What is this? And with anti-Semitism being your goal in stopping, as most people should, a most worthwhile anti-Semitism, there's no true anti-Semitism, not disagreement with foreign policy. But America doesn't need anti-Semitism or racism or Islamophobia or any phobia or any ism. Jism, nothing. I understand that. But Ben Shapiro is the worst lightning rod for whatever your organization is, because he immediately spews this. And he's at the point now where he is so desperate, so mean, so angry, so cornered like a rat in a corner, like a caged animal. He's worse than ever. It's dangerous. And they've got to get rid of him. I mean, kind of like Joe Colombo. Not that way, but I mean, he's got to. There's, I can't believe how stupid people are. Millions of dollars on, maybe billions, on the line, and you've got these obnoxious, over the hill, spent, these abrasive, horrible people that are just despised jokes. And by the way, Laura, remember, she's different. She's, am I with you, Trump? Trump's like this. Nobody really claims her. She's kind of like freelancing. She's a lone wolf. And meanwhile, Candace Owens is superior. I mean, I'm sorry. And for those people who say, what do you find about this Candace Owens thing so interesting? Are you not listening to what I just said? It's unbelievable. So my friends, I say unto you, thank you. Support truth. Support Candace. Listen to what I'm saying. Support truth. Support Candace. And support me. I'm sorry. I hate this part, but I got to say it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos, okay? You know what I'm saying is true. You know exactly what I'm saying is true.